The story of mackerel begins far out at sea, where the cool waters of the Atlantic Pacific and coastal regions of Japan converge with ancient traditions and cutting-edge technology. For centuries, mackerel has been a vital food fish, sustaining communities, fueling trade, and shaping culinary traditions from Europe to Asia. Today, this fast-swimming, oily fish is not only a staple in diets around the world, but also a symbol of how human ingenuity meets the rhythms of the ocean. Modern fleets deploy vast fixed nets, trawlers, and robotic systems to capture hundreds of tons of mackerel in a single season, while processing plants transform the catch into products that travel to markets across the globe. Behind every fillet, every can, and every smoked slice lies a story of skill, science, and survival. At sea, the process begins with fixed net fishing, one of the oldest yet most sophisticated methods still used in Japan and parts of Europe. Picture long rows of buoys floating on the surface, stretching hundreds of meters across the ocean, tethered to nets below that extend like an underwater maze. These fixed nets don't chase the fish, they simply wait. Mackerel, guided by instinct and current, find themselves funneled into wide enclosures known as playgrounds. The design is deceptively simple. Fish enter freely through open mouths, but once inside, they are gradually directed toward narrowing chambers that lead to box nets. Here, their escape becomes nearly impossible. At dawn, fishermen arrive to haul the box nets. With careful movements, they guide the fish deeper into the enclosure, ensuring minimal stress to maintain freshness. Buckets of mackerel splash and shimmer in the morning light before being transferred into tanks of chilled seawater, mixed with ice, sterilized and stirred to lock in quality from the moment of capture. The scale is staggering. In regions like Kagawa Prefecture, net fishing alone once generated over 60% of coastal fishery output, amounting to thousands of tons annually. For local communities, these catches are more than just numbers. They represent livelihoods, traditions, and the heartbeat of coastal economies. Yet even as small boats carry on traditions, the industry has embraced innovation. Robots and hydraulic arms now assist with lifting nets, sorting fish, and moving containers, reducing human strain and boosting efficiency. The sight of a robotic arm gliding across a factory floor, gripping crates of shimmering silver fish, is a striking contrast to the image of weathered fishermen hauling ropes by hand. Both are part of the same story, the old and the new working side by side. Once the mackerel reaches the shore, another transformation begins inside the processing plants. These facilities, located both near ports and inland, are tightly regulated environments where hygiene is paramount. Workers enter through sanitizing chambers, wash, disinfect, and don protective clothing. In some factories, even arm hair must be shaved to prevent contamination. Inside, conveyor belts hum as mackerel are unloaded, sorted by size, and prepared for processing. Frozen fish are partially thawed overnight at controlled temperatures before their heads and internal organs are removed. Saltwater brining follows, sometimes lasting hours, sometimes overnight, infusing the flesh with flavor while extending shelf life. In other lines, vinegar baths are used to produce the foundation for sushi delicacies like saba-zushi, a centuries-old Kyoto specialty created to preserve fish for long journeys inland. From salted fillets to vacuum-sealed packs destined for supermarkets, the variety is endless, but freshness is fragile. Mackerel is a fatty fish, rich in omega-3s, and while that makes it prized for nutrition and taste, it also means it spoils quickly. A fish with medium fat content must be chilled and processed within a day or two, or it risks developing off odors and soft flesh. High-fat mackerel are even more delicate, sometimes requiring freezing within just 12 hours of capture. Factories rely on ultra-low temperature freezers, plunging the fish to minus 30 degrees Celsius to halt spoilage instantly. Stored at minus 20 degrees, the fish can last for months, sometimes up to a year, if glazed with ice and sealed properly. This marriage of tradition and modern science ensures that when a consumer unwraps a fillet in Tokyo, London, or New York, the taste is as close as possible to the moment it left the sea. In coastal communities, the presence of mackerel is more than just economic, it's cultural. In Japan, whole festivals are tied to the seasonal arrival of these fish. Streets fill with the aroma of grilled saba, skewered and roasted over charcoal. Its oily flesh crisping at the edges, a flavor that for many signals the turning of the year. In Scotland and Norway too, mackerel runs have historically provided vital sustenance with hand-line fishing from small boats once forming the backbone of rural economies. Though times have changed, the reverence for this fish remains. The combination of speed, resilience, and nutritional value makes mackerel an enduring favorite across cuisines and generations. Yet behind every tradition lies adaptation, and the industry has had to adapt faster than ever in recent decades. As demand grew and stocks came under pressure, fishing techniques evolved. Drift nets, once common in the mid-20th century, gave way to purse-seine methods, and later to advanced mid-water trawling systems capable of sweeping entire schools into wading nets. Each shift brought questions of sustainability, prompting new management systems and quotas designed to prevent overfishing and ensure that future generations could continue to enjoy this resource. Inside the processing plants, transformation continues at scale. Conveyor belts move thousands of fish every hour, their silver-blue bodies flashing under bright fluorescent lights. Teams of workers assisted by automated cutters remove heads, guts, and fins with precision. Water jets wash the fillets clean before brining and seasoning, depending on the final product line. Some are destined to be smoked, a process that adds layers of complexity to the flavor. For hot smoked mackerel fillets are brined in salt solution, then exposed to controlled heat, and wood smoke that cooks and flavors the flesh simultaneously. The result is a ready-to-eat delicacy, with a firm golden brown exterior and rich, flaky texture inside. Cold smoking, by contrast, imparts flavor without cooking, creating a product that still requires preparation, but carries a subtle, almost delicate smokiness. Both traditions carry centuries of refinement and are now reproduced in industrial smokers capable of handling tons of fish at once while still mimicking artisanal methods. Beyond smoking, freezing, and canning remain cornerstones of mackerel preservation. Canning revolutionized fish consumption in the 19th century, allowing perishable species like mackerel to reach markets far inland without spoiling. Today, automated canning lines fill tins with carefully cut fillets, sometimes in oil, sometimes in brine or flavored sauces that add global appeal. In France, pickled and canned mackerel has long been a pantry staple, while in West Africa, imported tins serve as a vital protein source for millions. Freezing, meanwhile, has opened global distribution channels on an unprecedented scale. Properly glazed, vacuum-packed, and stored at ultra-low temperatures, frozen mackerel retains its taste and nutrition for months, even a year or more. This stability allows processors to ship from Norway to Nigeria, from Scotland to Southeast Asia, ensuring a steady supply regardless of season. The nutritional value of mackerel is a key driver of its popularity. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, high in protein, and dense with vitamins A, D, and B12, it has become synonymous with heart health and brain development. Unlike many farmed fish, wild-caught mackerel reflects its natural diet of plankton, krill, and small fish, giving it not only superior nutrition, but also a robust flavor profile. that is difficult to replicate in aquaculture. This has led to its reputation as both a humble staple and a gourmet choice enjoyed in school lunches, family dinners, and fine dining alike. However, its very richness makes it fragile. Without proper handling, the delicate fats oxidize quickly, producing off flavors. That is why from the moment of capture, every step from chilling at sea to rapid processing to careful packaging is designed to preserve the natural integrity of the fish. Even so, the journey of mackerel is not without challenges. Global warming has shifted migratory patterns, pushing schools into new waters and disrupting traditional fishing grounds. In the North Atlantic, fluctuations in sea temperature have altered spawning success, forcing regulators to adapt quotas year by year. Mercury levels too vary by species and size, raising health concerns and requiring careful monitoring. For this reason, agencies like the U.S. Food and Drug Administration advise pregnant women and children to avoid species like king mackerel, while others such as Atlantic and chub mackerel remain widely recommended. This careful balance between opportunity and caution underscores the complexity of bringing a seemingly simple fish from ocean to plate. It is a web of biology, ecology, technology, and regulation woven together to sustain a fishery that spans continents. In the world of industrial fishing, the role of automation continues to expand. Modern purse seiners and mid-water trawlers are equipped with sonar arrays, thermal imaging, and even robotic winches that replace much of the backbreaking manual hauling once done by hand. Crews still brave the open sea, but robotic assistance ensures greater precision in lifting nets, sorting fish, and reducing bycatch. On deck, mechanical graders sort mackerel by size within seconds, something that used to take teams of workers hours. Cold brine tanks receive the catch almost immediately, ensuring the fish are chilled to near freezing temperatures while still at sea. This sea-to-freezer system has dramatically extended the shelf life of mackerel and preserved its delicate flavor for markets thousands of miles away. In some facilities, robotic arms now trim fillet and portion fish with accuracy down to the gram, meeting international standards for export to Europe, Asia, and North America. But automation does not mean the loss of tradition. In smaller harbors and coastal towns, families still practice artisanal methods, handlining or using smaller fixed nets passed down for generations. These fishermen may not match the volume of industrial fleets, but they often fetch premium prices for their catch, prized for freshness and sustainability. Coastal markets in Spain, Portugal, and Japan bustle with vendors selling freshly caught mackerel, often grilled or marinated within hours of landing. In these communities, mackerel is not just food, it is heritage. Songs, stories, and even local economies revolve around the seasonal runs of this fish, creating a rhythm of life tied directly to the sea. Processing plants, meanwhile, have become hubs of global supply chains. A single facility in Norway or Japan may process hundreds of tons of mackerel each day, much of it destined for international trade. Workers in clean suits and masks operate alongside stainless steel machines, maintaining strict hygiene protocols. Conveyor belts move fish toward vacuum packers that seal fillets under controlled atmospheres to prevent oxidation. Some portions are destined for sushi markets requiring sashimi-grade handling, while others are destined for canneries that prepare long-life tins for regions where refrigeration is limited. Smoked mackerel, vacuum-sealed and shipped under strict cold chain logistics, has become a delicacy in Europe. In contrast, salted and dried mackerel remains popular across Africa and parts of Asia, valued for its ability to keep without refrigeration. Each product tells a story of adaptation not just of the fish, but of human ingenuity in preserving one of nature's most perishable resources. Nutritional science has also reinforced mackerel's status as a superfood. With omega-3 levels rivaling salmon and sardines, it supports cardiovascular health and cognitive development. Nutritionists emphasize that regular consumption can lower the risk of heart disease, reduce inflammation, and provide vital micronutrients. However, with such benefits comes responsibility. Health authorities warn against excessive consumption of larger species like king mackerel due to elevated mercury levels. This has pushed demand towards smaller, safer species like Atlantic or chub mackerel, which offer the same omega-3 benefits with less risk. Regulators, processors, and fishermen alike now face the challenge of communicating these distinctions clearly to consumers while maintaining trust in the global seafood supply. As consumer awareness grows, so too does demand for traceability. Shoppers want to know not only where their fish came from, but also how it was caught and whether the methods used were sustainable. Blockchain technology is being tested in some supply chains, allowing buyers to scan a package and trace its journey from the ocean to their table. For mackerel, this could mean verifying that the fish was caught in compliance with quotas, handled properly on board, and processed in facilities that meet international safety standards. This level of transparency may seem futuristic, but it reflects a simple truth. In a world of mass production and global distribution, trust is as valuable as the product itself. And beyond the science and technology, the human element of mackerel fishing remains central. Life on board a trawler or purse seiner is not glamorous. It is grueling, often cold, and relentlessly repetitive. Crews work in shifts that blur night into day, responding not to the clock, but to the movement of the fish and the demands of the sea. When sonar pings reveal a school beneath the surface, there is no hesitation. Nets are deployed in coordinated fashion. Robotic winches tighten the ropes, and the ocean comes alive with the thrashing of countless silver bodies. On deck, boots splash through seawater as fish pour across the sorting tables. The smell of salt diesel and fresh catch hangs in the air. Every movement is part of a rhythm honed by years of experience, where precision and timing are everything. For young crew members, these trips are an initiation, teaching them resilience, teamwork, and respect for the sea that feeds them. Factories on shore mirror that same sense of urgency. As soon as the catch is landed, trucks and conveyor systems move the mackerel into chilled environments. Processing plants operate almost like laboratories, where each step is measured and monitored. Workers clad in protective gear move in choreographed sequences, trimming, filleting, deboning, and inspecting. In advanced facilities, robots have replaced much of the manual handling, reducing contamination risk while increasing speed. Automated knives glide through the flesh with millimeter precision, while scanning systems detect imperfections invisible to the human eye. In the quality control rooms, inspectors check random samples, ensuring that only the finest cuts make it to market. Each box of product is labeled with lot numbers and timestamps, creating a digital footprint that follows the fish across borders. From here, the mackerel's journey takes many forms. Some are destined for freezing, locked in super-cooled chambers at 30-degree Celsius within hours of capture, ensuring they remain pristine for months. Others are prepared for smoking, a process that enhances flavor while extending shelf life. In Scandinavia, hot smoked mackerel is a breakfast staple, served with dark bread and pickled vegetables. In Japan, salt-cured mackerel becomes sabazushi, a delicacy that reflects centuries of culinary tradition. Across the Mediterranean, Grilled mackerel seasoned with olive oil, garlic, and lemon is a summertime favorite. Each method of preparation highlights the adaptability of this fish, its ability to fit seamlessly into different cuisines, cultures, and climates. The economic impact of mackerel cannot be overstated. In some regions, it represents more than just a food source. It is the backbone of local economies. Thousands of families depend on the seasonal harvest for their livelihood, from fishermen at sea to workers in processing plants and traders in bustling fish markets. Internationally, mackerel is a pillar of global trade, with millions of tons exported each year to meet growing demand. The rise of health-conscious diets has only boosted its profile as consumers search for affordable sources of omega-3 rich protein. Yet behind every shipment and every plate of grilled mackerel lies an intricate system of quotas, treaties, and sustainability certifications designed to ensure that the bounty of today does not become the scarcity of tomorrow. As the fishing vessels return to port, the story of mackerel moves from sea to shore. The unloading process is as much a performance as the fishing itself. Crates are lifted by cranes, conveyor belts hum, and inspectors check the catch for quality. Robots scan the fish, sorting by weight and size with mechanical precision, ensuring that only the best specimens move forward into the next stage. This reduces waste and increases efficiency, but more importantly, it safeguards the reputation of fisheries whose names are trusted worldwide. In coastal communities where generations have lived by fishing, this trust is everything. A poorly handled catch can damage not only the flavor of the product, but also the image of an entire region. Inside the processing plants, the pace quickens. Workers in sterile uniforms oversee automated filleting lines where blades move with astonishing accuracy, trimming each fish in a fraction of the time it would take by hand. Yet even with advanced automation, human oversight remains vital. Eyes trained by years of experience can spot imperfections that no machine can yet detect: a bruise in the flesh, a subtle change in color, a cut that isn't quite right. The collaboration of robotics and human skill creates an environment where productivity and craftsmanship coexist. Once the fish are filleted, they pass through chilling tunnels where cold air blasts across them, locking in freshness before packaging. Some are destined for freezing, others for canning, others still for smoking or curing, depending on market demand. What makes mackerel particularly valuable in the global seafood chain is its versatility. In Europe, it is celebrated, smoked its rich, oily flesh, absorbing the flavors of oak or beechwood. In Japan, vinegar-cured mackerel finds its place on sushi rice, a delicacy that bridges centuries of tradition. In Africa, salted or sun-dried mackerel becomes a staple protein, feeding millions affordably. And in North America, where health trends dominate, grilled or broiled mackerel is marketed as a powerhouse of omega-3s, rivaling salmon for nutritional prestige. Each cultural interpretation carries the same message: this is a fish that belongs to everyone, adaptable to any kitchen, resilient in any cuisine. Sustainability continues to shape the narrative. International agreements between Norway, the UK, and the European Union regulate how much can be caught each season, with scientists providing the data to prevent overexploitation. Consumers, too, are becoming part of the equation, increasingly demanding certification labels that guarantee the seafood they buy is responsibly sourced. Major retailers now use these certifications as a selling point, demonstrating that sustainability is not just a regulatory requirement, but a marketing advantage. For fishermen, this has meant adopting practices that once seemed burdensome, but are now integral to keeping markets open. Without sustainable practices, doors to key export markets like the European Union and the United States would quickly close. The journey of mackerel, then, is one of constant adaptation. From the ancient handlines of coastal villages to the sonar-guided, robot-assisted fleets of today. From the smoky huts of traditional processors to the gleaming stainless steel factories of the modern age, the fish has remained at the center of human survival and culture. Its story is written in the ocean currents, in the clang of steel decks, in the hiss of smoking chambers, and in the laughter of families gathered around a meal. And as long as people cherish both the bounty of the sea and the technology that allows us to harvest it wisely, the mackerel will continue to remind us of the enduring partnership between humanity and the ocean.